Hey guys, so I'm about to start the fuel system in this thing. I ended up going with a 4 dual pump unit, uses dual Hellcat motors, the module that's in the tank. I'm still waiting for the module to come back because they sent it with the wrong fittings. But it seems to be nice. I opted not to use their hose because I have used this Regulator PTFE hose, so it's PTFE lined inside. So you can use it with whatever fuel. It's going to last the lifetime of the car. It is stainless braided, has this black cover. 4 offers PTFE lined hose, but they don't have this black cover on it. I like this black cover, 1, because it looks clean, and 2, because it protects the braid from, arcing out on anything or carrying a ground if, say the ground strap went bad. Part of the problem with stainless braided hoses, if this is against, if this is rubbing up against things, it ends up trying to use the casing, the stainless casing, as a ground for the car. So I've heard of people that it basically uses this as a starter ground when you're trying to start it, and obviously that's not a good deal, so that's why I just like this black covering. Came with this fuel pressure regulator here I picked out. So this I'm going to mark a location back here against the firewall. I'm going to put it back there somewhere so it's nice and clean and hidden. I already made a little bracket for it. So it's just going to hang down out of the way there. There is plenty of room back here actually. So it is a return style, so I have to run a feed in and return to it. My fuel filter's on back order, so I'm also waiting on that. But this stuff just kind of sucks to assemble because it is PTFE lined. It has, you basically take this apart and it has a little barb that you have to separate all the little strands here. So it's really good if you like pricking your fingers with pins. So I'm gonna set the camera down and I'm gonna start this, and you can follow around with me. So I already ran all the fuel lines up and fabricated them up for the fuel pressure regulator, which sits behind the supercharger. So this is the fuel pressure regulator. It's 4 innovations. I bought this cool gauge for it, but it's kind of in a spot where I'm not really going to be able to see it because the heat exchanger line is going to run on the top of it. So I think I'm going to put an electronic sending unit on it, and I'm probably going to grab one of those Aeroforce interceptor gauges and just measure fuel pressure on that, so at least I can see it in the interior when I want to. So all the lines are run to it. I have to assemble this itself. I made this bracket for it that also is going to hang it right from the kind of under the cowl area, so it'll be out of the way. Be clean. All the lines look like they're going to route pretty good. So I'm going to get this all assembled right here. These all have O-ring fittings on them. You want to lubricate the O-ring fittings so you don't tear the O-ring when you put it on. That's probably a little bit too much, but you definitely don't want a fuel leak, especially when the thing hangs above the engine. So I'm going to start assembling this, and if you want to follow along with me, you're more than welcome to. Wanted to show you guys the regulator setup here. So it's mounted here, right behind the blower, under the cowl, pretty far out of the way. Looks pretty clean. That's the bracket I made that bolts up. You can't really see it to the bottom of the cowl there. I just used an angled drill and I drilled the hole straight up to mount it. It's definitely secure, it's not going anywhere. So what you see here, this hose with a 180 degree fitting, that goes directly over the fuel rail with an adapter. The 90 degree all the way at the bottom is the return. There's a straight fitting on the other side, which is the feed. It's hard seeing in here. And then they come down into these 2 heat wrapped wires. I did this all the way down beside the headers. Plenty of clearance. I just heat wrapped it just to be safe. So everything's a straight shot, there's no kinks or anything like that. It's kind of a pain in the ass to route it up there when these headers are huge. They have like 2-inch primaries on them. But I'll show you under the car what I did. I ended up going through the frame for the feed line, just so I can cleanly mount the fuel filter. So that's it for that. And we'll move on to the car. Hey guys, so this is my 4 Innovations dual pump module. It's got a -8 feed and return up top. Really nice piece. It just completely replaces the stock fuel pump module. This has dual Hellcat pumps in it at the moment. Now, if you are to buy one of these for a CTS and not a CTS-V, make sure that you get the Camaro style unit. So basically order it for a Camaro, because the differences are the Camaro actually has a smaller transfer fitting for the inside of the for the hose that transfers fuel from one side of the tank to the other internally. So this is the Camaro one. It's a little bit smaller, so that will hook up to the V6 transfer hose inside the tank. And the fuel sending unit is actually different. This is not a CTS-V fuel sending unit. They use a different one for some reason. So the Camaro actually uses this one. So it comes with this little bracket that you put these 2 screws in so you can transfer the fuel unit over, sending unit over. So that's one mistake that I made. 4 was nice enough to get me the correct one shipped out, and they're just really awesome people to deal with, so I would definitely recommend checking them out. It's 4innovations.com.